Thanks very much, Lord Provost and whoever's left. Thanks very much, and it's great to see that we're all so joined up, really. I represent here the engineering profession. The Institution of Engineering and Technology is a group of professional engineers who are actually at the sharp end of delivering all of the wonderful ambitions that politicians and commerce actually dream up. And part and parcel of the activity that we've been involved with over the last 2 years now is actually reviewing how we're actually going to put all of this together. And we've come to a bit of a shocking outcome, hence the title. Angela actually identified that we need to be joined up. Well, we certainly need to be joined up. I thought I'd give you a view of what I can see out of my living room window. I live in Aberdeenshire, so it is sunny in Aberdeenshire. You might be able to see a wind farm or two in that picture. You might actually not know that the wind is blowing quite hard here, and that actually 3 of those turbines aren't actually turning at all. And it's not because they're broken, it's because they can't actually get the generation they're producing away on the network. In other words, there's a constraint, and we're paying generators often to actually generate electricity that can't be used. So one of the issues about joining things up when you're on the ground is the physical infrastructure and making sure things work end to end. You'll notice this is the 11 kV feed to my house, and those arrows in the background there's yet more wind farms that you can see there. But that transformer that's actually on that wooden pole, the manufacturer actually hasn't been around for 35 years. That means that transformer is very, very old. What we've got is a whole bunch of aging infrastructure, and we've got a whole bunch of things that need to be replaced. And to boot, we're actually changing the game as we're moving forward. So we have lots of new ideas, lots of new ambitions, and we need to talk about money. Money is good to talk about, but I can tell you physics will actually tell you what money can do. The IET delivered in December 2013 a report entitled Electricity Networks Handling a Shock to the System. And this was really to identify the issues that physics has with what we're trying to do, and also the market structure that physics has to work within. So some quick fire thoughts on some of the issues that we're trying to deal with here. Why was the Power Network Joint Vision put together in the first place? Well, the future is uncertain, and a number of the issues here are that there aren't any answers or clear answers to any of these questions. Consumers, you've heard a lot about consumers. That's you and me. The problem is that we are now part of the delivery system, and you're actually dealing with just being educated on a PhD on how to run the grid, because you're just being delivered a smart meter, and that's really what you're going to do. You're going to actually run the grid, because you're going to be kind enough to actually change your behavior. Lots of these different silos we're talking about: demand, distribution, transmission, generation, commercial, environmental. I could go on. They're all silos, and we're all talking about them in individual groups. We need to have a more holistic approach to this. So from the consumers, the power network itself, and there's much less certainty on the power network and what we're expecting actually it to do and what is required of it. Lots of technical issues that I won't bore you with, but if you want to learn more, as you identified, Mr. Chairman, there is a session directly after this that you can come to. There's a number of really big issues that are actually happening now. For instance, UK Power Networks has 10 gigawatts of solar planning consent actually on its books today. 10 gigawatts, that's a lot of solar power. We've got EVs and heat pumps being identified coming on the network, and they range, in the simple terms, from 10 to 100 gigawatts. When you're dealing with physics, you need some certainty. And unfortunately, unlike policies, they can't change every minute. V equals IR has stayed for quite a long time. I think it stayed longer than many policies. We need to deal with actually how the heck we're going to actually have this conversation and all speak the same language. So the impacts that we're going to see are pretty impressive, because actually if we get it wrong, it's not you out there that are going to have to put up with the problems. It's actually the next generation and the generation after that. These networks will be around for another 40 to 100 years. So conclusions, I'd say transformational change is definitely on the way, probably. It throws up some really big issues, and actually they're mainly to do with engineering, not with commercial and policy issues. That is the context which we deliver within. And we're certainly going to have some big issues around how consumers are actually embedded into this approach. Unfortunately, it will actually come down to our members, engineers, to actually make all of this work. So if you're really interested in making it work, I suggest you come along and have your say in the next session. Thanks very much.